Hello, fellow Fergies, and welcome to another episode of Grassroots Vegan. I'm David Kelly. So, you've heard about the low-fat, raw vegan lifestyle of eating predominantly fruits and vegetables with some nuts and seeds and, a few overt fats here and there. Sounds great, sounds wonderful. You hear all these great testimonies and the success stories of living this lifestyle. How many people have overcome health ailments and all that wonderful stuff. But you will quickly discover that there are some big challenges in transitioning into this lifestyle. And I think there are four major challenges for a lot of people, and they're not everybody has all four of these challenges. But these are the challenges. Money is number one. Number two is time. Number three is social life. And number four are dealing with old habits. So you may not have money issues. You may not have issues with time. And maybe you don't have much of a social life. So social interaction is not a challenge for you because it's just not there. But yet you may have a number of old habits that you've brought to the table when you've come to this lifestyle. So the thing about old habits, and this is where people kind of are surprised by when they find themselves having a setback, is that these old habits tend to creep up when they least expect it, and they get taken down by them. And the reason why is, what is an old habit? It's something that it's a pattern of life that you've been following for quite a long time now. And it has been hardwired into your psychology. It's an intricate, integral part of your identity. And there's no simple way of just severing that old habit without having an impact on your identity, on who you are. And that's why it's so difficult to deal with old habits. Not that it can't be done. It most certainly can be done, but it's going to take time. And I've found for myself personally, the best way to deal with old habits was not by using a confrontational approach, but rather through negotiation. I literally negotiated my bad habits out of my life. And it takes time. It's not heroic, like going cold turkey and, you're on this big mission to overcome a bad habit, an old habit. No, it's more like you're constantly in negotiations, and literally it is in negotiations with this other part of yourself that wants to continue behaving in a certain way, and you're saying, we can't do this anymore. It's not benefiting us at this time. And so what's an example? I have this with my kids all the time. They want something. I think what they want or what they're demanding is unrealistic. I have interest what I would like, and then we fight it out and whatever, and then at some point we come to some kind of settlement, and we both make compromises and we negotiate and we move on. Well, with your bad habits, you can do the same thing. Bad habits, old habits. And I'll give you an example. I did this with drinking alcohol. It wasn't until a couple of years later, after becoming a low-fat vegan, not a low-fat raw vegan, but a low-fat vegan, that I gave up alcohol. And it was through a very slow process. I decided I didn't want to just cut it out of my life because I had made so many other changes that were positive in my life that it just seemed like a lot to put on my plate at that time. So I gradually decreased my alcohol consumption until it was basically down to nothing. And as I was decreasing my alcohol consumption, I was increasing my healthy living. And So it was really easy to give up alcohol. I've talked about this in another video. I basically did the same thing with smoking many years prior to that. Coffee was another one. Now, coffee, I still continued drinking up until not too long ago. And, what I did again was, I used to drink on average 4 cups of coffee a day. Then I cut it down to 2, and then I cut it down to 1. And I kept it at that for a long time. And I was, at the same time, promoting a healthier lifestyle and experiencing the benefits of a healthier lifestyle, to the point where coffee no longer seemed to fit in anymore. And so I just changed from drinking coffee to drinking non-caffeinated tea, herbal teas. So, and that's worked. And I have no craving for coffees now. But had I tried too early in this health journey to try to give up all of these habits all at once, I don't think I could have succeeded. I know I couldn't have succeeded. And I think a lot of people have the same issue. They jump into the low fat raw vegan lifestyle. Like, I didn't even start off low fat raw vegan, and I would have to say that a lot of people that are now low fat raw vegans, when they started their health journey, they didn't just jump into low fat raw vegan. They were doing other stuff long before that. That led to this lifestyle. And where was my thoughts going there? Oh yeah, so yeah, before doing low-fat raw vegan, I was doing low-fat vegan. And I'll tell you something, just doing that, I had great health benefits. In fact, a lot of the major health benefits I experienced right at the beginning when I was doing low-fat vegan. That's when I experienced most of my weight loss. That's when I dealt with early stages of diabetes too and eliminated it. So going to low-fat raw vegan, that just was a new level of health that I experienced, a new level of vibrancy that I experienced. So what am I saying in all of this? If you're coming to this lifestyle, the low-fat raw vegan lifestyle, which I firmly believe in, I think it's a fantastic way to live, you may have a lot that you're bringing to the table, maybe too much to deal with all at once, and you're going to have to sort of break it down and take on some of the challenges now and then deal with the other ones later. And it's a slower process, but I find it's effective. I mean, you can try going, all in and putting all your cards on the table. You can try that. And it may work, it depends. I mean, everybody's different, right? But I've found that negotiating with my bad habits, which my old habits were bad. So negotiating my old habits, I was able to negotiate them out of my life and replace them with good habits. Is there anything else to say? Be creative about this whole lifestyle too. We all approach it in different ways. And again, we all have different challenges. Like again, the money challenge, I think that's a huge one. And I'd like to talk more about that in another video, because I really do believe a lot of people, this is where they get hit hard, is in the pocket. And, there's ways of, you really got to understand where your money's going, not just in food, but in everything, and how to budget. And there's methods to help you with that. But again, that's for another video. Eat lots of fruit, have a great life, and take care.